Okay, chapter 3. So now we know how to enter data. We know the different kinds of windows, and we know descriptive data. We know the different columns. We know data view, variable view. And now we're getting into understanding data itself. Okay, so we're chapter 3. So I'm here again at our course ULearn site, and you've already done chapter 3. You've already done the reading, so you know that it calls for use of this data set, high school and beyond data. So I'm going to select that, and then you're going to go through the process of opening it with SPSS, all of that kind of thing. So I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to open up this data set. I already had it loaded, so I'm going to save time here. All right, and so this is the variable view, of course, because we see what we always see in variable view, information about the variable. I'm going to control T is our data view. Okay, data view. Okay, using that scroll bar at the bottom because we have a lot of variables, and using the scroll bar on the side, we have 75 cases. Okay, now let's go back to variable view. And we can see here, this is a better example of why having really descriptive labels and why values are so important. Um, MAED, what does that indicate? Well, nothing. MAED. It's not even a real word, but because SPSS likes these abbreviated variable names, we use an abbreviated variable name. And if we look at the label, MAED means mother's education. Okay. And so the values, of course, help us understand specifically what these individual numbers or codes represent. A 10 represents MD PhD. A 1, excuse me, a 2 represents less than high school. Okay? So it's the same concept as our previous exercises here. But the purpose of this exercise is to help you with the graph on page 37 if you need it. Now, some of you may have struggled a bit because GSU's version of SPSS is a bit more recent than that which is in your book. It's not a problem. I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to go to graphs, and you're not going to see graphs, then histogram. You're going to go to graphs, then chart builder. Okay, you're going to hit OK. And I'm going to reset this because that's the final version. All right, so here you have, you're looking at a lot of stuff, but we're not going to worry about all of that. Okay, what I want you to do is select histogram. Okay, and then the type of histogram. See, if I were to select bar, line, this and that, and we'll do some of that later, but you're going to select histogram. And these are different types of histograms. We're going to select a simple histogram. You're just going to drag it into this window, like so. Okay. I'm going to close this for now because we don't need it. And then we're going to drag competence scale into the x-axis. Now I'm going to hit OK. SPSS is going to buzz and whir, and here you are. Okay. Now it looks a bit different than the textbook, but the values are the same. It's just because this is a bit more vertically oriented, and there's probably a way to edit that, but it's just not important. And so we see here, if you look at the figure on page 37, mean 3.2945, standard deviation 0.6645, n equals 73. We see here this 1, 2 is grouped here, and everything else is the same. So that's how you create that histogram. All right.